ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We saw the example of the Vatakanika. What is Vatakanika? Seed of the Nyagrodha banyan tree. And at the end he says something to Shvetaketu, that this seed that I asked you to break open, and you broke open and you said there is nothing in it. And this nothing is what? All knowledge. It is, in fact, it has the blueprint of the entire huge tree called banyan tree. This is a huge thing and it's a huge tree, and this tiny seed which you broke open doesn't have a small replica of the tree. It's all software. That's why it's called software, because you don't know where it is. Yeah, software. That is what it is. And then from there we saw something else, that treeness. So this seed tree gives us, another way to look at this whole Jagat. So seed is what? Karya or Karana? Karya in one respect, Karana in another respect. So this is anirdharitam vastu. Because that's how everything in the Jagat is, relative, and then sometimes Karya, and the same thing that is Karya becomes Karana in another context. Effect, cause, effect, they are all interlinked and they are all anirdharita. It's not nirdharita, it is not, it cannot be properly ascertained. Why can't it be properly ascertained? Simple, because it is mithya, because it itself doesn't have a being. So what to talk of the causality or whatever its status is? The thing which you are calling a cause itself has its being somewhere else, which led us to the discussion, a very interesting and a mental discussion of what? What is a tree? What is a tree? That which has treeness. That which has treeness. So where is the locus of this treeness? It has to be outside. Why? Because we say that which has treeness. What is that? That is Satyam. Tat Sat. And how are you going to know this? You're only going to know this by the Shastra. No other way is it possible to know this. Shastra alone can tell this. So therefore what? Shraddhatsva. To receive the Shastra, one has to have what? Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Trust. Trust pending understanding, or we can say bhakti, reverence. Reverence towards the teaching, and since the teacher and the teaching are inextricable, as we saw earlier, reverence for the teacher, reverence for the teaching. Shastrasya guruvakyasya satyabuddhi avadharana sa shraddha kathitha sadbhihi yaya vastu upagamyate adhigamyate. Viveka Chudamani. Shastrasya guruvakyasya. With regard to the Shastra and the words of the teacher, Satya Buddhi. Satya Buddhi means giving the Shastra and the teacher a benefit of doubt. Not coming to the worst conclusions about the teacher and the teaching without really having seen what it is to offer. What there is to offer. Oh, the pramana doesn't work. How can you decide? Until you give the pramana a chance to work. It's like the person who has eye surgery and refuses to open the eyes. Come on, open the eyes, you can see. No, I'm afraid I can't see, so I won't open the eyes. So that way, the proof of the pramana is in its working. Pramana means a means of knowledge here. The proof of the means of knowledge is in its working and is in its revelatory capacity to show you what is it that you can't know by any other means. That is the proof of the pramana. The pramana is proven by using it or letting it operate upon you, and so therefore that ability to let the pramana operate on me. This is very difficult because all the pramanas who operates? Me the great. I am the agent, I am the knower, I am pramatru. And I am in charge. I am on the throne of agency, and I am the one who says, this is all for me. This is me. I am the one who is the seer, I am the one who is the hearer, and I come to these conclusions because I operate the ears, I operate the eyes. Do I operate the Shastra? What's your guess? No. Shastra has to operate upon me. Shastra has to operate upon me. And that's why it's so scary. It's a means of knowledge coming from outside. And if it's a means of knowledge coming from outside, the only way I can know is to have Shraddha. Shraddha and Bhakti is what helps. Now, here what has happened to the Shraddha? It is gone. When did it go? At age 4. Why did it go so early? Because when the child is born, it has total Shraddha. Total helplessness is compensated by complete trust. We are not like, human baby is not like the baby of animals. Animal babies, as soon as they are born, they get up. They can walk, sometimes miles, along with their herd they walk. A human baby can neither walk nor talk for a long time. For everything, the same cry, nappy change, same cry, hunger, same cry, I have had too much to eat, same cry. The parents have to do some very educated guesswork in trying to bring up this baby. And so, in this manner, we have so the child thinks of the parents as God, Goddess. They can do so many things. They're taking care of me. They are amazing. They can walk. I can't even turn over without their help. I can't even do anything. They can walk. They can do these wonders. They can do these great things. And then what happens? This way the child has to think of them as gods because it is utterly dependent on them. There is no other way for the child to grow up except with total Shraddha. And this total Shraddha is accompanied by what is called Shobhana Adhyasa, seeing more than what is already there. It's not that the mother is God, father is God. They are God-like, all right, but they are not really God. The child yet doesn't know. So total Shraddha, total Bhakti, and then what happens? As the child grows up and starts to learn a few things, it looks around and says, these people don't know anything. Pujya Swamiji's famous example. Child sees something scary on the ground, cockroach. Yikes! Cockroach. It doesn't even know how to say cockroach. It points and screams and wants to hold on to the mother's dress. And what does the mother do? Leave the child right there and climbs onto the dining table. Suddenly there is this feeling, these people are supposed to protect me, and they are not there. And where is the father? In the other room. Not even ready to come into this room. And the father is telling the mother, just call pest control, don't make a big deal. Yeah. Now the child is scared of the screaming mother and the cockroach. Before it was scared of the cockroach, which seemed strange and it was just going in all directions. And now the child is scared of the screaming mother also. If this goddess is screaming like this, the whole world must be just going to come to an end. Pralaya is at hand. The baby is thinking. And so like this, and the trust keeps coming down. Plus the socialization itself, what is that? The child is taught from the very beginning, what is it taught? Stranger danger. Don't trust anybody giving candy. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't go here. Don't go there. All these things. And then we are told as we grow up, the world is a big bad place. So by the time one is an adult, one is really a jaded, faded jiva. Not trusting anybody and nothing and feeling proud of it too. Yeah, I have a lot of common sense. I don't trust anybody, we say proudly. Coming to Vedanta, the trust that was lost at age 2, age 3, whatever that age, one has to dare to trust again. That trust has to be found by processing the hurts. By processing these hurts, by understanding this, understanding what? That the one that was hurt is not a helpless being. Who was the one that was hurt? That was a child, not me. I am not helpless. The one that was hurt was a child. The one that was hurt is in the form of the unconscious mind now. There is no real child. That's why it's called inner child. There is no real child there. And Pujya Swamiji took Vedanta to a whole nother level by really talking about psychology, inner child, all these things. Very important for the resolution of which is very important for the assimilation of Vedanta Shastra. And so this child means this truncated being. This truncated being who is in the form of a pain body. The body of this child is not real. The body of the child is comprises pain and hurt which are not processed from a long time ago. That is the body of this child. body of this child is a pain body, and therefore it is judgmental about itself and others. Therefore it cannot let itself be. It is hard on itself, it's hard on everybody else. And then what does it do? It is just discontented, demanding, judgmental. And to such a mind, if you study Vedanta, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Knowledge won't come. What will come? Sleep will come. That's all. So, therefore, one has to dare to trust again. First order of business is to take care of this inner child, which was sort of suppressed, because this is Ishvara Srishti. What is Ishvara Srishti? The ability to grow up for this baby, the ability to grow up despite its background, despite its hurts, despite its pains, is a great blessing. This is Ishvara Srishti, the unconscious. It is an individual avarana of Maya Shakti expressed on the individual level. That I am, that I have been separated from the pains and hurts, protected from that pain and hurt, until which time the brain is developed enough and is ready to process those hurts. This is what is important. I am able to do this at an age when I am older, and this is usually what happens. What happens is that after a while, then one is grown up, then the unconscious mind comes out. One is not mad at the situation. One is not angry with the person in front of oneself. That anger, that pain is from early childhood issues, and because of the transference, there is some similarity between that issue and this issue at hand. So that memory is overlaid on the present issue, and then there is pain, sorrow, anger, all of it coming out. The unleashing of the unconscious mind. And later on, one is oneself surprised. How did this come out? I'm such a calm person. How did I get angry? How did I get upset? What happened just here? And so, this is all the unconscious mind, and the feelings are not happening now. Right now, the feelings are being triggered by some similarity in the past, and that what is that memory is suppressed, and the emotions surrounding the memory are unleashed. There was one Alfred Hitchcock movie, and there the woman is always very nice person, beautiful, loving wife, wonderful person, and very friendly, soft person. And then each time she sees red color, something happens. She's not herself. It's almost like another personality takes over, yelling, screaming, angry, destructive, upset. And her husband, very loving towards her also, he is just at a loss. What should I do? What is this all about? She could not see the color red anywhere and not have a terrible meltdown. And later, as we saw in the film, it's the suppressed memory of watching her parents be murdered when she was small. So the red is the color of what? Blood. That is suppressed in the psyche. So like that, that is just an example here, but like that, there is triggers. And all these are inhibitors of Shraddha. As long as the unconscious mind has not been taken care of, it is the inhibitor of Shraddha. Because constantly the mind will be reactive. It will have reactions. Even a simple sentence that says, the sky is blue can evidence a reaction. What do you mean the sky is blue? Don't you see that there are certain, don't you see that it is an apparition. There is no blueness in the sky. The person who is very angry, even with a simple statement, can set off the person, and then therefore what? for qualifying for Vedanta Shastra, to understand this business of tree and treeness, what should one have? Shraddha. Shraddha is what one has to have, because Shraddhavan labhate what? Chocolate cake. Jnanam. Yes, correct. I stand corrected. So, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. This is what I have to have. I have to have Shraddha. Then only the jnanam will come. Otherwise, no Shraddha, no jnanam. And so therefore, what I have to do? I have to cultivate this recultivate this lost Shraddha. The Shraddha that was lost at age 4, and the heart that was hardened because of so many real or perceived omissions and commissions, because the child doesn't know what is happening. The child is just permanently anxious, cannot be without the source. Mother says, please wait here. I'm just going to for 10 minutes. I will have a shower and come out. Child doesn't know what is 10 minutes. For the child, it is an eternity, because it doesn't understand the concept of time. And so like this, all these hurts, real or perceived, all these pains, all these sorrows have to be reckoned with. And the heart has to blossom again to allow Vedanta to come in. How to do that? We have to have Bhagavan there. We have to drag in Bhagavan. We have to bring in Ishvara. And we have to see that Ishvara alone is the resting place of the unconscious. If Sat is the source of everything, Sat is also the source of the unconscious mind. Unconscious mind is also mithya. Everything in the Jagat is mithya. And all mithya resides where? As it were, in Sat alone. So, Sat is the refuge. But what kind of Sat? The Sat that has power. The Sat that has form. What kind of a form? Upadhi, limitless upadhi, limitless power, limitless strength, limitless ability to bring forth this universe, to sustain this universe, to take back this universe, limitless knowledge, limitless resources, limitless abundance. That kind of a Sat. What is that kind of Sat? Bhagavan, Ishvara with 6 bhagas. All kinds of powers. That has to be the refuge. Because who is the creator of the unconscious? Ishvara. So you give back Ishvara. What is Ishvara? You tell Ishvara to heal this unconscious mind, to help you to process and make this mind ready for Shravanam. Otherwise, what will happen? Whatever is heard will go into one ear and what? Not out the other, out from the same ear. Yeah. It boomerangs back to the teacher. That's why the knowledge is safe with the teachers. Yeah. Okay? In through one ear, out the same ear. Yeah. It's like feeding a toddler. So supposing you think, oh, I'm going to give it nutritious khichdi. And you make khichdi. And then when it's not looking, you put it in the mouth. What will happen? Khichdi fountain. Where? On your face. Yeah. In this way, the knowledge will be rejected. The unconscious mind, the inner child will reject the knowledge. Because 2 people come to the teacher always. What is one? Inner child. Pay attention to me, love me. Says to the teacher, doesn't want the teaching, love me, be around me, make me feel good, validate me, give me a hug. This is the one. And the other one is what? Adhi Bhagavo Brahma. Please teach me Brahman, Brahmavidyam Varishtam, Sada Sadbhi Sevyamanam Nigudham. And this is the one who knows, this is the knowledge that is going to make or break my life. This is what I want. But unfortunately, it comes along the person who is interested, the mumukshu comes along with a pichlaggu. Pichlaggu means a hanger-on. And who is the hanger-on? It's the hungry ghost. The child very much craving for attention. Only caliber of Mahatmas like Pujya Swamiji were able to do both. They would have a rattle in one hand. Look here, very nice. And the Vedanta book in the other. And he alone would be able to manage somehow. Just absolutely amazing. And this is all taught. This is all there in the Upanishads. In this very Upanishad, in the Chandogya Upanishad, in the 8th chapter, the same thing is talked about. Virochana, the king of who? Asuras. Asura king of demons, and Indra, the king of Devas. Here Prajapati. Prajapati is giving a lecture. He is on tour. And then he says something amazing. Prajapati is the teacher. The best teacher in the whole world is Prajapati. And Prajapati says, what does he say? He says, Atma, apahata papma. This Atma, this I is free of all papa. No papa can touch it. Vimrityuhu, free of death. Vijighatsaha, free of hunger, free of thirst, free of vijaraha, free of old age. Satya sankalpaha, that to which everything comes without asking, this is the Atma. All the devas were sitting inside the hall and listening happily. The asuras were fighting outside the hall, but still they also heard. And they liked what they heard. Devas, of course, liked what they heard. They said, this is the most important knowledge in the whole universe. Asuras liked what they heard because there is no papa. Fantastic, I can keep on killing. Chindhi, bhindhi, I can tear this apart, I can kill this, I can snatch something. No papa at all. Fantastic. And then Satya Sankalpaha, world domination. That's what I want. I can get it. So, one person appointed from both sides. One from the Asuras, who is that? Virochana. And then one from the Devas, who is that? Indra. Go in search of Prajapati's ashram to get this knowledge. Virochana literally means, Rochanam means luster. Vi means Vishesha, special luster. That's what his mother must have named him. But then, the way he behaved, we have to find a different derivation for his name. So, Vigatam, Rochanam, Yasmat, from which all luster has departed because of his behavior. So, who is he? Lackluster. So, Mr. Lackluster and Indra together go in search of Prajapati's ashram, and then they both go. It turns out that Virochana is just a clone, he's like a shadow. He doesn't speak a word, partly because there is a point to be made by his silence, and partly because the Shruti does not give baddies direct speech. Yes, because they don't deserve it. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find what? Sanjaya uvacha, Dhritarashtra uvacha, Arjuna uvacha, Shri Bhagavan uvacha, but never Duryodhana uvacha. Never. Indirect speech. Raja vachanam abravit. Yeah, that Raja, his name is also not taken. Duryodhana, it's a terrible name. Yeah. Let's not sully our tongues by taking that name, Raja, because he's a pretend Raja. He has usurped the kingdom. Raja vachanam abravit. And then he is quoted indirectly. So Shruti does not give air times to asuras. And then, so here also, and for another reason also, because he really is a shadow of Indra, he does not speak. He just does whatever Indra does. And these people, stupid people, they went there and for 33 years they did not even talk to Prajapati about anything. He sat there in the Gurukula, ate, drank, and just stood there. Usually the student should approach the teacher. But here Prajapati was very patient, 33 years he waited. Then finally he said, "Gentlemen, what are you here for?" He went and said, breaking all protocol. And then Indra said, "Oh yeah, 33 years ago, what did you say? Atma, apahatapatma, vijaraha, vimrityuhu, vijigatsaha, kshutpipasa rahitaha, satya sankalpaha." All this, I want to know this Atma, we want to know this Atma, I want to know this. Prajapati takes one look at Virochana, does not feel like teaching at all. Why? Because this teaching should not go into the wrong hands. You give this to a robber. And what is this Vedanta knowledge? You are not the doer. What will happen? Yeah. To a serial offender, you bring the fellow, and if you can make him sit for some time, without looking at how many handbags are there in the room, if you can make him sit for some time, and then do you think he will understand? Not at all. Because there is and he will understand only selectively what he wants to hear. I am not the doer, I knew that. Yeah. So if I steal, I'm not the doer. Atma is the doer, or Ishvara is the doer, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not the doer. Not guilty, Your Honor. Why? By way of what Hindu scriptures saying, I am not an agent of action. That's not what it is, but this is how it will be selectively taken. So Prajapati does not want to teach. Prajapati instead says something very general, and then he goes from the body to the subtlest. This is how Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Slowly you go from the gross to the subtlest. So in this spirit, what does Prajapati do? Prajapati calls for a big vat of water. Says, "Gentlemen, look at yourselves." You want to see Atma means what? Yourself. Look at Atma. And they both are very happy. Haha, look so handsome and wonderful. Look at those muscles. Look at handlebar mustache. Yeah, you can open the door with it. It's like that. Look at this, look at that. And then they admire themselves, and then both of them go away thinking body is Atma. Prajapati feels a little sad and he says, "Look at them go." And whosoever goes and thinks, he or she has this knowledge and starts to teach it, that whole parampara will be destroyed. That's why there is no body is Atma, parampara is not there. Even if it is there like a mata, charvaka mata, where body and everything is Atma like that they say. What is charvaka mata? Some kind of a materialism. Yeah. Some kind of a dogmatic materialism. And so even that doesn't have much airtime. This is all in keeping with Prajapati's prophecy. But Indra, being subtler and more prepared of the two, comes back because he has this idea. Wait a minute. So if the reflection is disturbed like a stone being thrown in the water, that means Atma is disturbed. Atma is not disturbed. But if I am this reflection, then I am disturbed, reflection is disturbed. This doesn't make sense. I need to go back. I need to study this more. What happens to Virochana? He goes and starts a Gurukula. What is its name? Asura Vidya Gurukulam. Okay. And then there he goes. And then what will be there? Only various massage and mud bath and all these things. Just Prakriti Seva. Just attending to the body. That's all it will be. Doesn't go very far. And it's only after Indra loses Virochana can the teaching begin. This is there everywhere. The so-called split is addressed in almost every Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad, we have that special section on what? Two birds. How many birds are there really? One bird. But as though split into two, because the bird that is very, very restless doesn't know its truth as free of restlessness, doesn't know itself. And therefore it has separated itself from everything. And same thing in the Kathopanishad, Ritham pibantau sukrutasya loke, guham pravishtau parame parardhe. Two fellows are drinking, having gone in a cave. Oh, this doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound good. Two fellows are drinking. No, only one fellow is drinking. But because the other one is along with this one, it looks like it is drinking. The other one is not drinking. What is that? Again, same thing. Jiva and Ishvara. Jiva is non-separate from Ishvara, doesn't know. Why? Because there is not just mithya and satyam, there is mithya within mithya, which is what? Pratibhasikam sat, an order of reality which is called a totally subjective reality whose body comprises various unprocessed hurts, pains and sorrows. And the only way to resolve that is to have a diet of bhakti. And that bhakti alone will convert into Shraddha at the time of Shravanam. That bhakti alone, because one doesn't have a say over these emotions, one doesn't have a way to understand these emotions. So you don't know how to deal with the emotions. So what do we do when we can't deal with it? Give it to somebody else. But here is a very important question. Who is going to be ready to babysit your inner child? Huh? Answer is nobody. No, I'll give it to the significant other. Significant other also has his or her own inner children. Are you ready to babysit? In the beginning, yeah, your inner child is cuter than mine. Here, let me babysit it. That is what is called honeymoon period. Yeah. After that, it becomes very difficult. Nobody is ready to babysit your inner child. Think about it. Even you are not ready to babysit. Even you cannot look at it. You loathe the poor thing for no fault of its own. You can't deal with it. You identify with it. You can't have that inner separation and look at it. Why will anybody else want to take care of it? Nobody will take care of it. So therefore what? The only one that will take care of it and help you forward is who? Bhagavan. And so at the foot of Bhagavan, there is from far, and I'm glad that Bhagavan is all unclothed now because we can see this very clearly. What do you see at the foot of Bhagavan? Yeah, you see what looks like a baby from far away, but you go near it, oh my God, it's got mustaches, it looks scary. This baby is baby only in name. Inner child. That's the collective inner child. And then it is offensive. It's got a shield, defensive shield, and it has a sword. Apasmara. The meaning of this means, or the meaning of the word apasmara, the one who haunts through triggered memories. The one who haunts constantly through the memories of the past. Even though you don't know what the memories are there, the emotions keep coming out. So therefore we have to put it at the foot of Bhagavan, who will say, heal, pun intended, H-E-E-L, stay there, don't go anywhere, and also H-E-A-L, heal. And so when that helplessness, when that inability to overcome the emotions is all given to Bhagavan, then there is a catharsis, then there is a change, then there is a movement forward. And then that is where the Shraddha has to be directed at Bhagavan, and the Shraddha that is directed at Bhagavan is the readiness to trust The child that stopped trusting its mother and father finds the ability to trust by daring to trust the mother and the father of the universe. This is how the whole circle completes itself. And then, equipped with this Shraddha, when one listens, the transformation happens. A total transformation, a complete transformation happens only when this is done, not otherwise. And then at the end of every section we have this wonderful refrain. I want to take the time to look at this refrain in a little bit of detail. Saya esho anima aitadatmyam idam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tvam asi Shvetaketo iti. Yeah. So this is a very important important teaching, because even before the Mahavakya Tat Tvam Asi comes, that which is a lead up to it is very, very important, because that is as important as the Mahavakya itself, because it tells us something which we do not know and we cannot find out. And here, at the end of the eighth subsection, when this repeats itself, so we are here at the 12th subsection, but whenever that 8th subsection was, then the Bhashya is very beautiful for this portion. Saya eshaha anima. What is this saya eshaha? What is this? What is this thing? Yasmat mulat utthaya deham avishati. Deham avishati jivaha. So, Moolam Utthaya means the one who is understanding and in touch with the source. That, that which is in touch with the source, and that what is that source? Sadakhyaha eshaha. That source is called what? Sat. That source is alone Sat, and then Deham avishati jivaha. So the jiva, so to speak, enters the body-mind-sense complex. And who is this jiva? Sadakhyaha. And what is Sat? Devata, we saw that. This is Devata. That Sat, which is the truth of the entire universe, and that universe itself was Sat before entering into a place of manifestation. Sahayaha sadakyaha eshaha uktaha anima. See, we have all these words which have this suffix called imanich. So it becomes iman, animan. Masculine noun it gives. Animan, gariman. And then when it's a nakaranta, when you decline it becomes what? Anima, garima, Nilima. Actually they are masculine names, but they usually give it to girl children. But they are all masculine forms. So anima, animan. So this anima means anubhavaha jagataha moolam. Anubhavaha means the subtlest of the subtlest. Is this the truth of the universe is subtle? Why? Because it is you. Cannot be objectified. Anubhavaha, anuparimanaha, jagataha moolam. The source of the universe is anoho aniyam, subtler than the subtlest. And so therefore it is not only difficult to objectify, it is impossible to objectify. And it need not be objectified. If it is understood as oneself, it is already known. And so, this subtlest of the subtlest, then what happens? Jagato moolam, and then aitadatmyam. And what is this aitadatmyam? Etat sad atma yasya sarvasya tad etadatmaha. Usually there is no word called etadatmaha. This is a made up word. Etadatmaha means tad atmaha. Etadatmaha means that which is the self of all. Aitadatmyam means this Sat Atma yasya sarvasya. That Sat which is the Atma of everything. The Sat which is the Atma of everything is called Etadatma, Etadatmaha. And now Etadatmaha, it has been made into a masculine noun because of this Bahuvrihi compound. And so what are we talking? Who is Etadatmaha? Ishvara. Ishvara is Tat Etadatmaha, meaning the Ishvara, Bhagavan is the Atma of everyone, is the truth of everyone, is the I of everyone and everything. That which obtains as the I is Bhagavan, and the I in everything is the I in Bhagavan also, and Bhagavan, which is called Sat, is everything. So the name for Bhagavan is Etadatmaha. Tasya bhavaha. When you make it into an abstract noun, what do you have? Aitadatmyam. So the beingness of everything. The very beingness of everything is called Aitadatmyam idam sarvam. Etadatmano bhavam Aitadatmyam idam sarvam. And so this is the beingness of everything. And then Adi Shankara says, Etena sadakhyena atmana atmavat sarvam idam jagat. So, etena sadakhyena atmana, by this Sat which is, whose expression is what? I. Etena sadakhyena atmana, by this Sat which is what? Atma alone, which is the I in everything, which is the I in every being, which is the beingness in every being. Etad atmana, what happens etad atmana? Atmavat sarvam idam jagat. Atmavat doesn't mean ivarthe, like Atma. Like when you say akashavat, like sky. No. Atmavat means possessive suffix Atmavan. But we are talking of Sat, which is neuter, so therefore Atmavat. Atmavat means having that being, possessing the beingness. So everything in the Jagat possesses beingness. What is beingness? Isness. Beingness is nothing but isness. Everything in the Jagat is possessing this beingness, possessing this isness. Why? Because Sadakhyam Brahma. Sadakhyam, that which is called Sat, is the Atma of all, is the I in he, is the I in she. It is like a super I, because of which everything has its being. If Sat was to withdraw, then nothing would have its being. So there is no being, there is no isness other than Sat, and then all the things draw, all the beings, all the things in the universe draw the isness from this Sat alone. This Sat alone has it. And so therefore what? This Sat is the isness of everything, the beingness of everything, and therefore idam jagat sarvam, this entire jagat becomes atmavat. Atmavat because it qualifies jagat. So the jagat becomes atmavat, atmavan, possessed of atma. The jagat is animated because of which presence. Everything in the jagat, chara charatmakam jagat. So the jagat which has what? Moving parts, unmoving parts, sentient things, insentient things. The whole jagat of names and forms comes alive because of this one Sat alone is the Atma of the jagat. The Atma of the Jagat is Sat, and the Atma of everything in the Jagat is what? Sat Akhyam Vastu alone. And how many Sats are there when we last checked? One. Not only one, non-dually one. Non-dually, one Sat alone is, and this alone is there, and then, therefore, na anyah asti atma, asya atma. No other atma is there. No other atma is there, and Adi Shankara has to add one word, samsari. So there is no samsari atma, and then free atma. There is only one atma. And here is where sometimes there is a disconnect. Even among the people studying Vedanta, there is a disconnect. What is the disconnect? They will say, yes, everything is Brahman. Yes, I am the Brahman, but after all, I am a human being. I have human needs. This is contested hotly by Adi Shankara, who says there is no other Atma. There is no Vedanta mode where, from 4 to 5 there is class, so there is Vedanta mode switched on. And then at 5 o'clock, when the class finishes, non-Vedanta mode, samsari mode activated. No such thing. This is a figment of your imagination. And this is what is taught in the Indra Virochana story and in the 2 bird story and the 2 drinkers story. There is no 2 things. One is an apparition. One is one's own subjective projection. So the samsari, which is a ball of pain and sorrow, very, very sorry, I am a samsari. This samsari does not exist, period. No, but what happened to my pains? Gone. What happened to my all these things? After all, I am a human being. These all have to be just taken out of the head. They have to be taken out of the vocabulary. Otherwise, you will be studying Advaita with a dual kind of a understanding. So, I am in samsari mode. When after the retreat, I am in full samsari mode. And then during the retreat, kabhi kabhi samsari mode. And so this does not happen. This is not there. There is no other Atma which is samsari. Jagat is not samsara. This is another thing. Because the previous line, the word Jagat comes. Jagat cannot be and is not samsara. Why is the Jagat not samsara? Because the Jagat is just an expression of name and form. That's all it is. Name and form of what? Sadakhya Devata. Of this Devata called Sat. Jagat is just an expression. The Jagat is not full of pain and sorrow. Here is where we depart from our Buddhist friends. What is the first premise of Buddhism? The world is the cause of sorrow. We don't say the world is sorrow. We say world is what? Ananda. Everything is Ananda. Sadvastu is Ananda. World which has come from the Sadvastu is also what? Ananda. Everything is Ananda alone, so there is nothing there that is Dukkha. So there is no Dukkha. And if there is no Dukkha, there is no Samsara. No, but what about war? What about this? What about earthquake? People will have all these things. So we have put some kinds of ideas on ourselves. This is good, this is bad. So the military-industrial complex, if it is benefiting from the war, it will say the war is good. For some people, the war is good. And for other people who are pacifists and who don't like anybody fighting at any time, ever, they will say, what? War is bad. Same thing. It's like the 2 people were praying to Bhagavan. One was having a wedding. And so that person said, please, oh Lord, let it not rain. Don't rain on my wedding. Don't come here. Please. Oh please, oh Lord, let it not rain. Few 100 yards away, the farmer is also praying to Bhagavan. What? Save the crops. Let it rain. Please let it rain. So is rain good or bad? It's neither good nor is it bad. It simply is. Our own raga dveshas make the jagat, cut up the jagat into good, bad. And that is the cause of samsara. The cause of samsara is the glasses of strong preferences and strong prejudices through which I see the Jagat. That is what is samsara. Jagat is not samsara, Jagat is Atma. Atma is not a samsari. This is very, very clearly stated here. Atma is never a samsari, not a samsari at all. And then what else? And he quotes the Shruti, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad again. Na anyad ataha asti drashtr, na anyad ataha asti shrotr. There is no other hearer. There is no other seer other than what? I, Atma. There is nothing else other than this I. And this I is Jagato Moolam, the source of the universe. And there, from that standpoint, what is it called? Sadakhya Devata. So it is called as the goddess from whom everything has come. And then so, ityadi shrutyantarat. Yena cha atmana atmavad sarvam idam jagat tadeva sadakhyam karanam satyam paramartha sat. This alone is the sat. This alone is the karanam. This alone is jagat karanam. This sat alone is karanam. What kind of karanam? As though karanam, because it is the only source of this I, and then nothing else is there. And then ataha sa eva atma, this atma alone, how many atmas are there? One. This one non-dual atma alone, jagataha pratyak swarupam satatvam yathatmyam. Usually the word pratyak is only used for the innermost I. Innermost self, innermost Atma alone. But here, Jagataha Pratyak Swarupam, the innermost nature of the Jagat is what? I. So between this I and the Jagat, what is the distance? No distance. So how can this Jagat cause me sorrow? Cannot cause me sorrow. How can this Jagat trouble me? Cannot trouble me, because it is the I in me and the I in the innermost I, the content of the Jagat, from which all these names and forms have come, is I alone. And that is the Mahavakya. And then he further says, Atma Shabdasya Nirupapadasya Pratyagatmani Gavadi Shabdavat Nirudhatvat. So the Rudhi Artha of the word Atma, if it is not qualified by something else, Para Atma, for example, Jiva Atma, if it's not qualified, just the unqualified Atma refers to what? I. So the word Atma, the meaning of the word Atma, the established meaning of the word Atma is what? I. Prasiddham loke. Like even cow. Cow, if the cow is not qualified by some things, then it is just cow. Qualified by something means what? Somewhere I saw they had, when they had invited to tea, and the little container in which the milk was shaped like a cow. And then you poured the mouth of the cow, and the milk for the tea would come out of the mouth of the cow. And so, that, when you say that is what? Cow creamer. So when I say cow creamer, you don't think of a real cow with its milk coming out of its mouth, okay? Yeah. So cow creamer is separate, but when I just say cow, what we refer to, four-footed, one tail, eats grass, gives milk, that is what is known. Similarly, the Atma Shabda is also what? I is understood as I when it doesn't have any upapada, when it doesn't have any qualifications. And ataha, therefore what? Tat Tvam Asi iti Shvetaketo. That Sat, you are. You means what? I. You means I. Teacher says you, what do you have to say? I. So this is not an ordinary Mahavakya, very beautiful Mahavakya, where it is usually Mahavakya is enough. The Mahavakya means Jiveshwarayoho Aikyamata Vakya. A Vakya that unfolds the truth of the Jiva as Ishvara is called Mahavakya. But always one does not know how to resolve the Jagat. Here this Mahavakya is unique because the Jagat's status is also resolved as what? The Pratyagatma Swarupa of the Jagat. Pratyagrupa of the Jagat is also what? The same Atma. What am I? Same Atma. What is Sat? Ishvara Karanatvam Praptam Sat. That Sat which is the Jagat Karanam, Ishvara, same Atma. So Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara have all been resolved. Completely resolved. Yes, I understand. But how to gain this knowledge? That we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Nasya Purnamadaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.